Hello, it's Gadget Review here and welcome to part 2 of the Firebox Nano Gen 2 Titanium Stove review. If you missed part 1 of the review, I highly recommend that you go check it out right now by clicking on the pop-up that's showing on the screen. It's going to show you the basics of how to set up and use the stove to cook and boil water in real life situation. Now in this part 2 of the review, I'm going to put this Firebox Nano through the water boiling tests. I'll first boil the water using the alcohol stove in simmer position, and then I'll boil the same amount of water using the alcohol stove in full heat position. Lastly, I'll boil the same amount of water using just wood fire. And I'll be timing each of the tests so you can see which is the fastest way to boil water. After that, I'll show you how I made my kids' favorite camping breakfast using this stove. Then I'll go over the pros and cons of this stove before I finish the video with my final thoughts. There's definitely lots of exciting contents coming up, so be sure to stick around to the end of this video. The outside temperature during this test is at 95 Fahrenheit, which is about 35 degrees C. With the alcohol stove in simmer position, it took 9 minutes 45 seconds to boil 25 ounces of cold water. With the alcohol stove in max heat position, it took 8 minutes and 6 seconds to boil the same amount of cold water, which is quite a bit faster than the simmer position. And lastly, the wood fire finished the race with an impressive 7 minutes and 2 seconds and is the fastest of the three by quite a margin. But do keep in mind that the wood I've been using in this test are very crisp and dry. If you're using wood that's not as dry, it could take longer to boil water. I'll be redoing this water boiling test come wintertime just to find out how much of a difference outside temperature makes. If you don't want to miss out on this, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. So, what do I like about this little stove? Well, I'm gonna start by talking about its portability. This thing weighs only 4 ounces and it folds up into a very small form factor which can quite easily fit into most pockets. This is one of the things that I absolutely love about this stove, because you can just keep it in your pocket and carry it anywhere with you and you won't even feel it. I also really like the fact that the stove was designed with versatility in mind. You can use it just like a regular wood fire stove, or if you prefer, you can use it together with an alcohol stove. If you don't like wood or alcohol, you have the third option of using solid fuel as well. Now, because you can use it just as a regular wood fire stove, it means that you don't have to carry any fuel with you, especially if you're going to be in an area where there's plenty of trees and bushes around you. This can help save some additional weight in your backpack for other important things. Another feature that I really like are the openings near the bottom of the fire chamber. This allows you to easily feed in more wood when you need to, and this actually makes a big difference when you're cooking. Otherwise, you would be constantly lifting up your pan so that you can throw more sticks in from the top, which I'd imagine can be quite irritating after a while. And finally, you can also use this little stove for building a mini campfire, which is always something fun to do when you're out camping. Now, what do I not like about this stove? Well, let's first start with the price. Setting at $79.99, this titanium version definitely puts the stove at a disadvantage when compared to a lot of its competitors. Honestly, if you don't care about the extra 2 ounces of weight, I personally think the stainless steel version is better value for your money. The design of the simmer position for the alcohol stove does offer additional convenience, but it only works for the Trangia Spirit burner. And I think if they design something that's a bit more universally compatible with other alcohol stoves, it would make this feature a lot more attractive. I also wish that the stove comes with a simmer ring so that you can adjust how much heat comes through from the fire chamber. Lastly, the windshield of this stove can be tricky to set up, and for that reason, I almost never use the windshield. So overall, what do I think about this stove? This is a beautifully designed stove with quality, flexibility and portability in mind. I can definitely see the attention to detail that's been put into this design, and I think this stove is clearly designed by someone who's passionate about lightweight outdoor cooking. Being just 4 ounces, and it fits easily into most pockets, this is always going to be a highly sought after benefit for a lot of backpackers and minimalists. The versatility of this stove brings about a lot of options for you, and the ease of setup is another thing that I really love about this stove. However, this stove is definitely not the fastest at boiling water, and it also doesn't offer any heat adjustment features. So if you're all about efficiency and speed, then I definitely would recommend a canister stove instead, like the Jetboil or MSR, because this Firebox Nano just simply cannot compete with the canister stoves when it comes to efficiency and speed. Also, if you're looking for your first camping stove for car camping, then there's definitely better options out there. But if you're looking for something that's ultra lightweight and ultra portable, and you like playing with fire and don't mind slowing down the pace of your life when you're out camping, then I do think this little gadget could be something that's for you. The stainless steel version, in my opinion, is definitely better value for money if you're on a tight budget. But if you're an ultra lightweight backpacker where every single ounce matters to you, then you may still want to consider buying this titanium version. And I'll put the links to both versions of this stove down in the description. Overall, I give this stove a 7 out of 10. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.